by the 50th minute. But as we've seen from this Young Lions outfit, they fought back, and Balestier conceded 2 more goals with some defensive issues, part of the problem there. So 3-3 it ended. Match day 2 improved. They managed to draw level with Tampines Rovers by the 67th minute. Amr Hakim doing the job there for Balestier, getting the goal, but then just 2 minutes later, Boris Kapitovic made it 2-1. That was the final score. I think probably the performance that they will want to draw upon was the gritty one at Jurong East Stadium against Albirex Niigata. It finished goalless, but I think more importantly, they managed to stop a free-scoring Albirex from scoring. They'd got 6 goals in the opening 2 matches, and actually, Balestier were on top in the first half. They were unlucky not to take the lead. Fadli Kamis with a teasing right-wing cross that was tipped onto the post by the Albirex goalkeeper. And Christian Krajcek was at the center of all things creative and really tested the goalkeeper a few times. The woodwork also coming to play. Albirex came into it in the second half. They lost their goalkeeper, Balestier did. Zaiful Nizam got injured, and Martin Munn made his debut in the final half hour. That was the first goalless draw in the SPL, by the way, since November 2020. That was in Balestier's game against Albirex. And they ended a streak of 9 straight losses at Jurong East in all competitions. They still have yet to defeat Albirex in the last 18 encounters in all competitions. And that result also meant that Balestier went the first 3 games of the season without a win since 2017. And they'll want to avoid making it 4 here. And that was, as I mentioned, Martin Munn making his professional debut. Named on the bench just once before. Zaiful Nizam substituted off for the first time since August 2016. That was also against Albirex, actually. 1-0 loss at Jalan Besar Stadium. And Lion City Sailors also then had a 3-1 victory away at the Young Lions. So let's see how these sides will do the business today. Both chasing that first win. Always a big, something just to get that monkey off your back. Final huddles between the two sides. Important messages being passed on. Zaiful Nizam is back in the starting lineup. Can just quickly tell you that there's just one change for Balesteir Khalsa from the side that drew with Albirex Negata. Joshua D'Souza, the youngster, comes in for P. Sivalingam, who's not in the squad today. 4 changes for Tanjong Pagar United. Joey Sim, the goalkeeper, comes in for Fasha, who got injured in that last game against Tampines Rovers, and he actually was just celebrating a call-up to national training. Emric Ong, the defender, comes in at, should be right back. Khairul Amri, as we said, gets a start today, the veteran, and Hadriputra de la Saswa Dimata, the youngster, the forward, also starts. Luis Junior, surprisingly, on the bench today, as well as Naufal Ilham, Delvinder Singh and Fasha not in the squad today. We will have a moment of silence now for former Singapore international M. Kumar, who played in the 1970s. Lovely gesture there from the Football Association of Singapore for the former international Munyandi Kumar, who passed away yesterday, former Singapore international in the 1970s. Rest in peace, Munyandi Kumar. Now to action on the pitch here. On both sides, I think I've got something on it. Oh, that was a low effort from Fadli Khamis. Rashulo's trying to get out. It's a bright start here from Balestier. Faritz tries to clear. Up to Khairul Amri, who holds the ball up well. It's all inside Tanjong Pagar's half already. Nice intent from the home side. Christian Krajcak will drive through as much as he can. Back all the way to the skipper, Zaiful Nizam. They'll be delighted to have their main man back after injury. Ball over the top. Shuhei Hoshino. Oh, he just looked a little annoyed about that. A number of Japanese players here on display. Well, they're just trying to gain a bit of ground here, get out of their own half. Tanjong Pagar. Here's Khairul Amri. Nishiguchi's done well. Lovely run from Nishiguchi. Excellent work. But he can't get a decent cross in. A couple of players just coming together, all okay. And Seems that they've just settled a little better now, Tanjong Pagar. Delightful ball in. And it just runs away from Shodai Nishikawa. So they are indeed using the five-man defence, and in fact it's a right side of central defence that we see fire it, something we've seen more and more often these days, or the left-hand side of defence, excuse me, of that central defence. There's a massive figure of Ensa Bruncevic. Oh, across to Ahmad Shahir. Diminutive figure in comparison to Bruncevic. Offside on Christian Krajcek. Interesting to see that the two main strikers for both sides, Shime Zuzul and Luis Junior, are on the bench, but options if they need. But great to be able to use them a little bit later on. Nishikawa. Slightly scrappy at the moment. He's having a bit of a go here, Marco. Not one to hold back. Cleared away, playing it safe. They seem to be attacking this right-hand side quite a bit here. Tanjong Pagar. So just to confirm that they are going with 5 at the back. Rather than 3. Rather than 3 at the back. That will be a little bit conservative, but I think they just want to be secure. Here's Blake Rasciuto, the Australian. There's too much on that one. Impressed in that season he had with DPMM, of course, when they finished up as league winners. I'm not sure what the point of that throw was. Given away a bit cheaply. Here's Anaki. Pretty strong figure, looking for Khairul Amri. Rasciuto's gone for goal! Oh, that had plenty of power. Excellent snapshot from him. And that could well have been goal number 1. And that would have been something impressive. It took that ever so well. Great technique from the Australian. It actually set up brilliantly for him, and it wasn't all that far away. Much better from Tanjong Pagar, the first real chance falling to them. Shidi, by the way, what you're not seeing is he's just pushing a little further up the wing back. And that's well handled by Sharon Sabarin. Oh, there's their first opportunity. And Hoshino, I think he feels he should have done better. Well, it has just started picking up here, this match. He's had some very good early runs, hasn't he? Nishiguchi, impressive again. Tries to pull it back. And Hariputra Dilla's in a good position. Well, they've had a bit of joy down that left-hand side. Actually, both flanks have been already quite productive for Tanjong Pagar. That falls nicely for Anaki. Squares it for Kairulamri, an acute angle. And that's always going to be difficult to get it past Zaiful Nizam. But they've had most of the opportunities at the moment, not necessarily clear-cut ones, but very positive. Here's Krajcek. Again, they may try to utilize that long throw. They've got some big players to aim at. I think Ensar Bruncevic is the one. They've gone low, though. Not the best of crosses from Krajcek. Trying to force their way through. And that takes a little bit of a deflection. It was Hazwan with the shot. Of course, got called up for national team training by coach Tatsuma. One of two players, the other one was Zaiful Nizam, but did sustain that injury in the last match against Albirex. Oh, that was a poor ball from Rashudo. Lovely work there from Krajcek, who's advancing, looks across. Oh, and why was that rushed? Absolutely no need for that. Plenty of time. I think he'll be really annoyed with that, D'Souza. And that was a great opportunity, wasn't it? He had time to settle himself. I think the youngster might have just felt a little nervous. But a great chance, and he probably should have done better. He had more time than he thought. They just got a little exposed there, Tanjong Pagar, and that was after a poor pass from Rashudo, who immediately put his hands up in apology. Bit of a short pass to Zaiful Nizam. He's done all right here. Cheaply given away by Arish Kumar. Now Emmerich goes back to his keeper, Joey Sim. It does appear that Krajcek is again given a rather advanced role. He's also given license to roam around a little bit. Good closing down, and it's just stopped there. Joey Sim had to take advantage. He was caught off his line. And the whistle had gone. Came racing off his line just to intervene. Might have been a foul in the process, yeah. Maybe just leaving something in there. Well, at least we've had a couple of half chances already for either side. It's not been a tentative game by any stretch. Neither one of these sides being defensive. Ahmad Shahir there, not the most convincing of headers. He's also probably the smallest person on the pitch. Here's Nishikawa looking for options. Trying to keep that in. Hadi. Now Christian Krajcek looks up. Long ball forward. Did he beat the offside trap? Shuhei Yoshino, flag stays down. And it was a clever run by Hazwan, but well read by Emmerich Ong. Foul from Krajcek. Taken quickly by Rashudo. Nishikawa is getting some good positions today. Oh, little foul there on Amir Hakim. Krajcek on the turn. Lovely work from him. Little slippery, of course. The pitch has taken on a lot of water. Lovely ball. De Souza. Can't quite put enough pressure on Faritz there. Nishiguchi's got a couple of players on him. De Souza's done well. Krajcek. Shuhei Yoshino. And it runs away from Hazwan. Promising from Balestier. It does look like a bit of a 4-3-3 here for Balesteir Khalsa. Amir Hakim strong in the air against Nishikawa. It's not been played at a terrifically blistering pace. No need to at the moment. Nishiguchi thought about the shot perhaps. This is Hadi. Nishiguchi again. There's a quick ball. Their transitions are fairly quick here, aren't they, for Balesteir Khalsa. Christian Krajcek, it's a nice ball out towards De Souza. We've gotten a good position where Faritz was there. And they're just trying to create some panic at the back, playing those quick balls to the likes of De Souza. We've seen a couple of times that's happened from Krajcek. He was going for the acrobatic. Anaki doing enough to put him off. Faisal Rafi can play that anchorman role. Lovely ball into the path of Hazwan. Faritz does enough. Cleared by Anaki. Could just see Khairul Amri urging the youngster Hadi to do more of the chasing. Fair enough. The youngster, one of the under-23 players starting today. The veteran will be, he'll let him do more of the that kind of work. Understandable. Here's Amir. Followed by Arish Kumar. Rashudo looking for Hadi, and that should be easy for Zaiful Nizam. again. They're looking for these quick balls over the top. Faritz clears. That's typical of Balestier at the moment. It's not going to be easy when they've got a 5-man defence. Now Ahmad Shah here. Again, back to Ahmad Shah here. Good ball. Hoshino should score from here. He blasts over. Well, that is by far the best opportunity in this game. And I can't believe he hasn't even put that on target. Well, that was a great chance. He's done the hard work. He's muscled Faritz off the ball. He's pushed him away. He's got clear. And he's gone over the crossbar. That is a great opportunity for the man they call Jumbo. Easily the best chance of this match so far. Balestier should be a goal up. Well, this time he's offside. Frustration there. Hoshino's had a pretty decent start to the season. Well, this man probably wouldn't have missed. No Alam Shah, the former Singapore international striker, now with Tanjong Pagar United. Part of the coaching team along with Hasrin Jailani, also a former Singapore international. Bit of confusion to who that should go to. Emmerich wants to get on with it. Anaki playing in a slightly more withdrawn role. They've preferred him to Naufal at fullback. Rushaidi's also come into the mix. A bit more of a beefy figure, probably a bit more solid in that sense. May not be as quick. Faisal. Ahmad Shahir looks up. He's trying to get that up to Krajcek. Fadli looks up. Thinks better to go back. Karalami tries to chase it and perhaps just putting Zaiful a bit under pressure there. I think he was too happy with that, Marko Kreljevic. Shuhei Yoshino just maybe delayed the ball. Was there a trip on him? And I just wonder whether that might be punished from Rushaidi. Yeah, well, you can see what he was doing. This might give you a better idea. Yeah, a little nudge there. Sent him sprawling. Haswan having a couple words here with Ahmad Shah here. Not sure what that's about, but up towards Hoshino. That's a great chance! And they don't make a mistake. Well, I thought Christian Krajcek had completely missed it. But they, in the end, through Faisal Rafi, he was really at point-blank range there. But just look at this, a great ball across from Hoshino. How did Krajcek miss that? But he absolutely smashed that in off the crossbar. Faisal Rafi. Surely they must have seen that it was going to come to Shuhei Hoshino. Did well to head it across. And Faisal Rafi does well to open the scoring. Formerly with Warriors FC in 2019. Hoshino gets some going here. And Tanjong Pagar have to start all over again. There was some good moments for them. Rushaidi, was there a block on him? No, says the referee. Well, they had the best opportunity a little earlier on, didn't they, with Shuhei Hoshino, and Balestier then scored not too long after. I think probably a fair reflection of what we've seen. Tanjong Pagar have had their moments. We will have a drinks break, and well, that goal has come just before it, so it will give something to be discussed, I'm sure, in the Tanjong Pagar ranks. But still plenty of football to be played. This is that goal where somehow Krajcek missed, but then Faisal Rafi made no mistake. Just surprised that no one really putting enough pressure on Shuhei Hoshino. Remember that Tanjong Pagar didn't win a single game last season. Last win was in 2014 in October against Harimau Muda, 5-0 hammering. They inflicted on the young Malaysian side. So it's been a long, long wait for this team. Momotaki in charge here. He's had a pretty easy game to deal with so far. Away by Amir Hakim. Dangerous ball out. Here's Krajcek. Just shrugged off the attentions there of Sharon Sabarin. A decent ball in, and it's headed away by Faritz. Foul on Faisal by Nishikawa. Free kick in a dangerous position here. Hazwan might be an interested party. Just clipping him there, and he puts his hand up immediately in an acknowledgement of what he did. So yes, it is indeed going to be Hazwan. And we know he's good on the dead ball. And it's a great opportunity here to make it 2-0. Oh dear. Well, that almost cleared the netting behind the goal. He's capable of much, much better, Hazwan. We'll be hoping to get into the Singapore squad when they head over to Saudi Arabia for the World Cup qualifiers in June. They play the hosts, Uzbekistan and Palestine. It's a tough group, but Singapore have done okay so far. Third in the group ahead of more illustrious opponents in Yemen and Palestine. Karel Amri trying to return the ball to Faritz. They'll get a free kick here, Tanjong Pagar. They've got a few big guns of their own now. Tanjong Pagar not quite as big as the ones in Balestier, but they'll load up here on these set pieces. This is where they'll have to try and make the breakthroughs. Keep an eye on Ryo Nishiguchi. And he won't get to that ball. I just wonder whether Luis Junior will be brought on in the second half. It does give them something a little bit more, an added dimension, more of a target man, an out-and-out target man. Wild header, that one. Zaiful Nizam hasn't really had a save to make. There was that one snapshot from Rishuto earlier on. Faisal misses the ball. Here's Nishiguchi, who's kind of playing in a slightly more withdrawn role today. Nishikawa couldn't quite get on the end of it. Here's Hoshino. Has that beaten the offside trap? It has. Krychek looks up. He's only got Hazwan to aim at. Ball rolled across, and it's an important clearance by Emmerich Ong, who knew, I'm sure, that he had Hazwan right on his shoulder. Probably not quite enough power on it from Krychek, who looked up, waited and waited. Not quite the power. I think he kind of scuffed that. Yeah, looked like he possibly just topped the ball. A bit more pace, and it could well have been goal number 2. Now, we've seen a couple of occasions where they've played this long throw in towards, generally, Bruncevic. This time, trying to change it up to Amir Hakim. And, well, the right kind of idea. D'Souza hits that wide. Had a number of, a couple of opportunities. All have been pretty wild off target. Well, he's in the right position. Execution not quite there. Took a couple of deflections along the way. Krychek shot. It will be a corner. I have to say, it is a rather adventurous, in some ways, you might say, from Tanjong Pagar. As you see the shot again from Krychek to go with the 3 in midfield. And you know that Karel Amri's not going to be able to quite track back as much. Hadi will have to do that. So, in theory, it becomes a 5-4-1. Away by Faritz, but yeah, I think it's perhaps a little risky with the midfield battles. Again, Krychek going for the long throw, a bit flatter this one. Bruncevic doesn't get there. Rushudo was right on him. Faritz does well. Karel Amri holding the ball brilliantly, and yes, excellent work from the veteran. He wants a return ball quickly, and it doesn't get to him. A little slow, I'm afraid, from Hadi Putra, his fellow striker. Here's Nishiguchi. He's had some good runs on that left-hand side, Nishiguchi. Very different game, this one, isn't it, to the one we saw yesterday at Hougang Stadium, where it was end-to-end and plenty of chances. I thought it was one of the most entertaining games of football I've seen, even though the scoreline may not reflect it was 5-1. It wasn't as perhaps as one-sided as the scoreline suggests, though I don't want to take anything away from Hougang. They fully deserved the 3 points yesterday. Corner here, flicked on, or tried to flick it on Nishiguchi. They are lacking a little bit up front at the moment, aren't they? Has one, just maybe leaning in to Sharin. Yeah, can see what he was doing there. Again, another one of the smaller players on the pitch. Well defended by Amir. Well, they're pushing more players forward here. This is a better from Tanjong Pagar, and they've got to be a little careful here. Anaki held the ball for as long as he could, takes it quickly. Nishikawa. Oh, and the keeper committed himself. Khairul Amri was creating or trying to create problems. Amir Hakim may have just hurt himself in the process. Nishikawa now swung that in. And Zaiful Nizam clattering into his teammate. Yeah, they just haven't had that cutting edge yet up front. Got to be a better corner. You need to get it over that first man, don't you? Arish tries to clear. He's being pretty vocal at the moment. No surprises there. Reminder that it's a full round of fixtures this weekend, and the other match that's going at Albirex Nagata playing Geylang International at Jurong East. It's 1-0. Tezuka scored in the 33rd minute, not too long ago. Well, Geylang have scored before halftime in their last 4 fixtures, so let's see if that can happen today. No rush to take this Balesteir Khalsa, and that's probably not a surprise, is it? Here's Krychek. Emmerich done well. The good thing for both clubs is they have got some firepower on the bench that they can add on. They can supplement what's already on the pitch. Luis Junior is the one that sticks out for Tanjong Pagar. Shimezuzul for Balesteir Khalsa, but the fact that they are fielding 2 goalkeepers tells you that their stocks are low at the moment, Balesteir Khalsa. Straightforward for Joey Sim. Faritz. I think we're going to have to see a little bit more adventure from their fullbacks. Here's Shodai Nishikawa. Rushaidi, that's better from the wing back. Enzo Bruncevic clears the danger as far as Blake Rushudo. Again, he's going to go for goal. Well, I tell you what, if they're going to rely on the Australian with the long-range efforts, I think Balesteir Khalsa will be pretty happy with that, because he hasn't tested Saiful Nizam from those, though there was that earlier snapshot which was a fairly decent effort, but still off target. Again, it's sat up for him, but no real power in it, and it's wide. Yoshino tries to get up there. Foul from Bruncevic on into the back of Khairul Amri, who was previously with Felder United. Did pretty well there. Previously, of course, stalwart with Tampines Rovers. Hazrin will want a little bit more from his players at the moment, I'm sure. Good little period here for Tanjong Pagar. And that is a poor free kick from Rushaidi. Straight into the arms of Saiful Nizam, who quickly releases it to Hoshino. It's a good ball down the line to Hazwan. Hazwan, good ball in. It has found its way through. And Krajcek connected. He did enough. And after a little bit of pressure up the other end, Balesteir Khalsa relieve it by scoring a second. And we get a good view of it from this angle. Hazwan with the assist. It's a lovely ball in, and you've got to ask, how on earth is it so easy? It's a run from deep from Christian Krajcek, ghosting in between the defenders. And no one picking up his run. It's far too easy. And that's not great defending from Tanjong Pagar. Problems mounting here for Tanjong Pagar. Krajcek, who creates so much and loves to get forward whenever he can, is only his first goal of the season. Well, barring any sort of injury issue, you'd think that Luis Junior is going to have to come on right at the start of the second half, because they have a lot of work to do, Tanjong Pagar. Will they keep Khairul Amri on? You would think that Hadi Putra is the one to make way. Doubt they're going to play with three strikers. They're going to have to push Anaki and Rushaidi further forward. Or they could play four at the back. We saw that last time they played against Tanjong Pagar. They went from a 5 to a 4. Maybe push Faritz further forward. Here's Nishikawa. Went down a little dramatically. I think that's the point Amir Hakim is trying to make. Yeah, there was certainly some contact, but did make a fair bit out of it. Yeah, you can see, actually did tread on his, Amir tread on Nishikawa's left foot. But if they could pull one back here, well, that would really set us up nicely, wouldn't it, for the second half? Not long to go till half time. Nishiguchi! Smashes that over. A couple minutes left plus added time. Again, no one really picking him up, but he was right on the edge of the box. 2 minutes of added time is what we're hearing. Well, what you're not seeing right now is the Tanjong Pagar substitutes being put through the paces. And you suspect that Luis Junior has to come on. Good work from Bruncevic, but it goes only as far as Rishudo. Khairul Amri. Now Faritz. They are trying to crank up the pressure here just towards the end of this first half. They've had a fair bit of ball, but they're just not able to do too much with it at the moment. Nice kick out from Zaiful Nizamin. Well, that was inventive, wasn't it, from Krajcek? But too far away from Hoshino. Got to say, I think they were a little bit more impressive, Tanjong Pagar, against Tampines Rovers in the last game, where they tried to take it to a better side, frankly. But today, they are being pegged back a bit at times. They haven't quite been at their best, Tanjong Pagar. Desperately in search of that first win, as I said, to try and get the monkey off their back. 2 minutes out of time now, confirmation of that. Anaki. Here's Nishiguchi. Faritz advancing further and further forward. You just get the impression he will do that more in the second half. Here's Nishiguchi, who likes to cut to the byline if he can, run at players. And D'Souza with his defensive duties. Krajcek. Waiting for the foul. Anaki does take him out there. Has one. Amir Hakim. It's a great ball out wide to D'Souza. Can't quite control it. Yeah, all is not lost necessarily for Tanjong Pagar here. There still is plenty of football to come. And dearly would love to get something out of this match. Bruncevic. Fadli. I think a foul there from Krajcek. Yeah, no doubt about that one. Yanking him back. Hadi Putra to his fellow partner, Khairul Amri. Away by Bruncevic. Trying to just push for one last opportunity in this half here, Tanjong Pagar. Rushaidi. Rishudo. Ball slipped through. Oh, and that looked like a, well, I did have to say, that looked like perhaps a foul from Bruncevic on Nishikawa. It was perhaps a coming together, you could argue a 50-50. Khairul Amri felt that was actually a bad challenge, and that should be a penalty. Let's have a look at this. Nice ball slipped through by Rishudo. Lovely ball put through. Oh, wow. I think you could argue why that could be a penalty. Yeah, I got to say, that might be a good shout. Another view of this. He didn't get the ball. That, I think, is a penalty. And it's not been given. And just from a neutral point of view, well, you'd like to have seen that. Just to make things a little closer for the second half. Well, that brings to an end this first 45. And smiles all around here for the Balestier camp and high fives because they have a good lead here. Faisal Rafi smashing in off the the crossbar from Shuhei Hoshino header right across the face of the goal. And then Christian Krajcek with a diving header. Those are the two goals that separate these sides at the moment. Balestier overall have been better. Tanjong Pagar have had moments, but not really tested Zaiful Nizam. They should have had probably a penalty right at the very end of this first half. And were denied it. That could be a talking point. All right, we're going to take a short break, and let's head now to the break, and we'll be back for the second half.
Aia Vitality. Your health is every choice you make. We are part of a global wellness program with over 1.65 million members in AIA across Asia. And in Singapore, we have more than 100,000 members on AIA Vitality. Members live healthier by knowing their health through online health assessments and screenings. They improve their health by logging exercises and enjoying the rewards to keep them going. And indeed, members are making improvements in their health. Even the vitality age gap has narrowed to less than a year. Best of all, you earn points for every activity. The higher your status, the greater the rewards, including up to 15% off insurance premium on selected AIA plans. To keep you going, there is the weekly fitness challenge, with personalized targets to help pace and improve your fitness. When you complete the challenge, you get a spin on the Vitality wheel to earn Vitality coins, which you can use at the marketplace. That's not all. You also earn AIA Vitality points for completing these activities. And very soon, you'll be on your way to Platinum status. And we sweeten the deal further with many exciting partner benefits that you can enjoy. With AIA Vitality, nothing gets better than a healthier you. So get onto AIA Vitality today because your health is every choice you make.
We are back at Toa Payoh Stadium for the AIA Singapore Premier League match between Balesteir Khalsa and Tanjong Pagar United. 2-0 it stands at the moment to the hosts. Balestier getting the goals a little bit later on in the piece. This was the opening chance. Shuhei Hoshino ought to have at least tested Joey Sim. It was a glorious opportunity, by far the best one they had. And he blasted over somehow. That was in the 18th minute. But just 6 minutes later, Hoshino would provide, return provider. And he headed across the goal. Somehow Christian Krajcek not getting on the end of it, but Faisal Rafi making no mistake from point-blank range, smashing in off the underside of the crossbar. What was surprising, of course, was how Hoshino even got a free header like that. But good work from Faisal Rafi to make it 1-0. Another chance on the half-hour mark. Ball across from Krajcek to Hazwan, and it was Emmerich Ong who had some last gasp defending there to get it away from Hazwan, who surely would have made it number 2. Rare opportunities came their way from time to time for Tanjong Pagar. This is probably the best of them from Blake Rusciuto. He had one earlier, which probably was a little bit more threatening. A snapshot, but this was about as good as it got for them. And as I mentioned earlier in the commentary, that I don't think they'll be too worried about those sort of chances. And this was the second goal, 5 minutes before the break. Lovely ball in from Hazwan, ghosting in between the defenders. Christian Krajcek throwing himself at the ball. Lovely teasing ball in. Expecting the forward to get on the end of it. But again, questions to be asked of that defense. And right at the very end of this first half, Rusciuto threading a lovely ball through to Nishikawa. Should this have been a penalty? I think there was a good shout for it. And that would have turned things around, I feel, or at least made it interesting. Could he possibly have been going down already, Nishikawa? That's the question, but for me, probably a penalty. Have a look at the stats now. 10 shots at the moment, by the way, for Balesteir Khalsa. 4 for Tanjong Pagar. I think that's a fair reflection of the game. I'll tell you what the other game that's going on at the moment, Albirex Niigata are 1-0 up against Geylang International at half-time there. So just reminded that we'll come back for the second half after the break. It will be Balesteir Khalsa again against Tanjong Pagar.
AIA Vitality. Your health is every choice you make. We are part of a global wellness program with over 1.65 million members in AIA across Asia. And in Singapore, we have more than 100,000 members on AIA Vitality. Members live healthier by knowing their health through online health assessments and screenings. They improve their health by logging exercises and enjoying the rewards to keep them going. And indeed, members are making improvements in their health. Even the vitality age gap has narrowed to less than a year. Best of all, you earn points for every activity. The higher your status, the greater the rewards, including up to 15% off insurance premium on selected AIA plans. To keep you going, there is the weekly fitness challenge with personalized targets to help pace and improve your fitness. When you complete the challenge, you get a spin on the Vitality wheel to earn Vitality coins, which you can use at the marketplace. That's not all. You also earn AIA Vitality points for completing these activities. And very soon, you'll be on your way to Platinum status. And we sweeten the deal further with many exciting partner benefits that you can enjoy. With AIA Vitality, nothing gets better than a healthier you. So get onto AIA Vitality today because your health is every choice you make.
Welcome back to Toa Payoh Stadium. Second half about to get underway here in the match between Balesteir Khalsa and Tanjong Pagar United. You've just seen the imposing figure of Shime Zuzul come on. That's not something that Tanjong Pagar fans, nor the team, I'm sure, want to see when their main striker comes on. But it's also balanced out by the fact that Luis Junior is also about to come on. We're just trying to confirm who they've replaced. Get that news to you shortly. And Hadri Putradila Saswadimata is the one who comes off for Tanjong Pagar. And Rushaidi has also come off and is replaced by Shime Zuzul. Excuse me, Rushaidi is replaced by Suhairi Sabri. We'll get you the who's replaced Shime Zuzul as well shortly. There's Suhairi. Just want to see how they're set up now. Tanjong Pagar. There was a lot of recriminations at half-time. I can tell you we are not far away from the Tanjong Pagar dressing room. And let's just say there were fireworks in there. And probably the hairdryer treatment going on. Here's Anaki. Yeah, it does appear that it is D'Souza who has gone off, the youngster. So, again, probably not too much of a surprise. Faritz up to Nishiguchi. Tries to, well, I think that looked like it was more of a shot than anything else. It was a handball on Nishikawa, who was perhaps denied a penalty right at the end of the first half. So for now, it is still a five-man defence it is still a 5-3-2 for Tanjong Pagar. But they've got more firepower in the form of Luis Junior up there with Khairul Amri. We can confirm it is indeed D'Souza who's come off for Shimir Zuzul. Now here's a corner for Balesteir Khalsa. Charge down that one. Good work there for Zuzul. Looking for Hazwan. They've just changed, of course, now where they're playing two strikers. It does appear that Krajcek looks like he's on the left-hand side of that midfield, though I think it probably is more likely to be more or less a 4-3-3. I think, as we said, that Krajcek has that little bit of license to roam. Here's Nishiguchi. Doesn't get that past Bruncevic. Oh, lovely. Lovely work there from Fadli Kamis. Tries to get that up to Zuzul quickly, but well marshalled by Faritz. Now Anaki, Franz Rishudo. Looks like a speculative ball in towards Luis Junior. Nishikawa with another cross in, and well, Amir Hakim did enough because that seemed to be coming towards Junior. Important intervention from him. And that was just behind Rishudo. Yeah, timed that perfectly, didn't he, Amir Hakim? He wasn't happy, Hasran Jailani, at half-time, and you can understand why. I think they were well below par, capable of much better. Joey Sim almost chased down. Oh, referee, he's gonna issue the card on Fadli. Well, that's a little bit harsh, to be honest. Oh, well, okay, when you look at it again, did kind of leave his foot in there. That was a bit unnecessary, wasn't it? From the defender. Yeah, so it does appear that Hazwan has come on onto the right-hand side, Krajcek on the left. Not bad to be able to bring on Shimir Zuzul at this point, when they're dominating already, Balesteir Khalsa. There's Hazwan, now looking for the break here. Lovely ball down the line. He's got Zuzul into the path of Krajcek, and that's good defending. Rishudo had to really make up those yards. Great work from Rishudo. Good run as well from the deep from Krajcek. Just as he was shaping up to shoot. He anticipated that very well, the Australian. Joey Sim with a good punch out. Again, this long throw of theirs. Amir Hakim there, the son of Nasri Nasser. We saw him somewhere in the stands earlier on. Wish him very well with his condition and his recovery. In charge with Philip Au of the Young Lions, who were in action yesterday. Remember, the other game going on tonight is Albirex Niigata playing Geylang International. And a chance for Albirex to go top of the table there. And it's still 1-0 in that match. That's all they need to go top again. Only unbeaten side in the SPL Tampines Rovers. Zuzul. Oh, it could be an own goal here. Can they clear their lines? And it's Zuzul's perseverance to make it 3. Well, it seemed that Faritz was going to be favourite to it. Man has got so much pace, but he was beaten to the ball by Zuzul. He did well with the header, but he headed it past his goalkeeper, wrong-footed him, and he couldn't get there. He couldn't quite make it. It's a bit of a comedy of errors, I'm afraid. And now you've really got to feel it's a massive struggle here for Balesteir Khalsa, for Tanjong Pagar, excuse me, with Balesteir Khalsa absolutely delighted, as you can see from Marko Kraljevic's reaction. Zuzul doing the business as the substitute. Should Faritz have done better than that? Well, they've got not too many actual attacking substitutions to make. That is the problem. They've already made 2 of the 3. I think they're just going to hold fire for a bit longer, maybe a lot longer. Here's Zuzul. This really could be a huge scoreline. That looks pretty much... Well, the flag stayed down. An important save there from Joey Sim. I think everyone just seemed to hesitate. Away by Anaki. Well, you'd think now, since they're already 3 down, should they not just go for... Got to release the shackles a little bit. Or do they go for damage limitation, Tanjong Pagar? It is a dilemma, isn't it? They've already lost the game, you feel, at this point. So should they go down a blaze of glory, at least trying to chase the game, or should they just sit back now and ensure they don't concede any more goals? From a morale point of view, here's Rashudo. Now Nishiguchi. Here's Krychek. Ahmad Shahir joining the attack. Hoshino, they'll take the corner. Faritz not happy with some of the earlier defending. Referee, I think, seeing a bit of tussling in the box. Wants to cut that out. Farit's trying to break clear here. Karalamri, was there a little shove on him? Yes, there was, from Ahmad Shahir. He looks perplexed by that. But they've really just got to pile more bodies forward if they want to try and get anything out of this game, and that already, you feel, would be quite unlikely. And again, we go back to that penalty decision. Not necessarily saying it's a turning point, but it certainly would have given them a lifeline. There's a man down at the moment for Balestier. It's Ahmad Shahir. Took a blow to the ear, maybe. I might get another view of it here. I think it was the landing where he went almost head first into the ground. Yeah, that's why I was clutching the side of his face. Probably more than anything else. As I said, he's not the biggest of players. He's probably the smallest one on the pitch. Well, thankfully, he seems to be all right. Unlike Tanjong Pagar at the moment, who are really struggling in this match. And we thought, after their rather stirring performance, and that was Karalamri causing a few problems at the back there for Balestier, we thought after what was quite positive, really, against Tampines Rovers, that they really might have an opportunity to do something today. Just off your screen at the moment, what I'm observing is Amirul Emran being put through the paces. We might see him come on for Tampines Rovers. Faisal Rafi clears. We haven't seen too much of Lewis Junior yet. Karalamri lofts that over to Nishikawa. Good work from him, the Japanese midfielder. And they force that out for a corner. It's a little bit better there from Tanjong Pagar. Taking their time with this. And that's Ahmad Shahir who clears that away, which is interesting. Nicely done there from Faritz. Out across to Anaki. Oh, and I think he missed that. That was a chance, wasn't it? And he puts a hands to his head there, Karalamri. He missed it. It was an air header, effectively. Ahmad Shahir. Flag stayed down on Hoshino, but that ran away from him. Brensovic. Now Amir Hakim. Nishiguchi slides that in towards Lewis Junior. Nishiguchi, good interplay between him and Karalamri. And this is what I mean, it's just maybe the final ball that's lacking at the moment for Tanjong Pagar. They had some decent moments, just not able to turn them into anything. Zuzul up the other end. Farid has actually done a fairly good job on him so far. I think he'll feel aggrieved about that third goal just now when they both raced against each other. So a few players on their knees at the moment. No football, competitive football for 2 weeks, remember, of course, during the international break. None of these players would have been involved in international action. Most AFC teams aren't playing till June. Here's Zuzul. Fadli with the ball over the top, and that's gone out of play. Rashudo. Now Luis Jr. You really ideally want your target man in the box. Tries to get a cross up to Karalamri. Didn't see a foul there from Faritz. Nothing wrong with that on Fadli. I think we're going to see a little bit more of a change, maybe a bit more of a positive change, you could argue. Karalamri. And Ahmad Shahir clears that. Amirul Emran is going to come on for Emmerich. And that would indicate perhaps they're going to a 4 now. Oh, it's a good ball through. Oh, just over, wasn't it? You could see what Zuzul was trying to do, get it to Krajcek. Well, that was very ambitious from Zuzul. So that change now to be made. So Amirul presumably goes into the centre of midfield. Would they go 4-4-2 perhaps? And yeah, I think what that means is, and we'll just confirm that. Well, Rashudo, for now, seems to have gone into defence. It would be a little bizarre if that's the case, but let's see. Luis Jr. with his first effort, really. That's well over. Well, this is interesting. It does appear like Break Rashudo is now a defender. Junior, I think he had every right to shoot, but he was leaning back on that one. Maybe Amirul Emran just screening at the back there. It does still seem to be a 5-man defence. Karalamri gets a yellow card for his troubles. And foul on Hoshino, who's still trying to get some clarification. He's having a look at Hoshino, he's not impressed with that. Maybe we'll get more clarification here ourselves. I think he did get the ball, to be fair. He went in hard, but he got the ball. Maybe studs up. Anyway, that's the least of his and Tanjong Pagar's problems at the moment. They need goals, desperately. Well, I think it's Rashudo's been tasked to keep an eye on Zuzul. But that just means they're blunting their midfield a little bit. Amirul Emran is slotting in there in the centre of the park, it appears. It might just give Nishiguchi a little bit more license. Krajcek's done well. They've got Zuzul here. It falls nicely to him. And waiting to take the shot here, Zuzul, which he does in the end. And that really should have been goal number 4. A big mess at the back here for Tanjong Pagar. Could have taken the shot earlier. He was waiting and waiting. The angle perhaps not easy for him by the end of it. Sharon Sabrin is down at the moment. Oh, that was a big fall, isn't it? He was in the air for quite a bit. Yeah, might be the landing, I think, more than anything else on his side. Yeah, there you go. That's what they're treating at the moment. Yeah, he'll be fine. As of now, Balesteir Khalsa very, very comfortable, very happy with this. They did score 3 goals, remember, against Young Lions, but ended up 3-3 though. It was Young Lions who fought back from 3-1 at that point. Luis Junior, that header is over. The second drinks break to be taken. He's only had little flash moments in the second half, Luis Junior. Not really been able to get to good positions. What do they do here? These are the goals again, the second half, and I think when Farrance looks back at that one, he'll be disappointed. He couldn't get to the ball first, and delight there for Balesteir Khalsa. He got there with the header, but he wrong-footed his goalkeeper. Difficult from our angle, of course, to see exactly what happened. Thought he would get there. He is faster than but you've got to give the striker a lot of credit there for persevering. Surprisingly, that's also his first goal of the season. So we 71 minutes gone. Just about 20 or so here at Tanjong Pagar. If they're going to mount a fight back, you feel it has to be a goal any moment now, realistically speaking. We have seen, of course, fight backs at very unlikely stages, but those are few and far between. But it's interesting to see Rushudo in the center of defense now. Well, Shino blasts that over again. That was a harder chance than the one he had in the first half. Krajcek laying the ball off for him. Actually, he was in a really good position, wasn't he, Hoshino? I think what they're trying to do now here is push the wing backs up far more than they have been in the first half, much of the second as well. So they are still going to maintain the three at the back, but get the fullbacks up so they can bomb forward as often as possible. Up towards Kairu. He should get there. Looking for some support here. Amri to Anaki, puts the ball in, easy for Bruncevic. Faric doing well. Here's Nishikawa. In by Fadli, and it should be easy for Zaiful Nizam, who's not had really any saves to make today. He has not been called into action. I think that will be the disappointing thing. There's Nishiguchi. Goes out wide to his countryman. Nishikawa seems to have just dropped into that right wing back role. That's straightforward. I'm not even going to class that as a save for Zaiful Nizam. We are getting word of a change. Gareth Lowe is going to come on very shortly for Faisal Rafi. It's a lovely kick out towards Christian Krajcek. Joey Sim clears the danger. Yeah, we're trying to get that up to Shimezuzu. And the first goal scorer, Faisal Rafi, makes way. He's done his job. Got the goal, marshaled that midfield very well. And he can be very happy with his performance today. Industrious. So Gareth Lowe comes on now, presumably into slotting into the same role. Let's just have a look if he's going to go further forward. Hazwan's not going to get to that ball. Yeah, actually now it looks like Gareth Lowe has gone into the left side of midfield. Krajcek is more central. No rush here for Zaiful Nizam. He'll be wishing for more nights like this when it's very, very quiet for him. Just wondering about this change in tactics with Risciuto going into central defence. It appears to be keeping a close eye on perhaps the physicality of Zuzul. That's why they're thinking of, but that's really more of a defensive measure, isn't it? It's more to just keep him quiet and consolidating the position and not really trying to, because Risciuto can give you goals. We know that from his previous time in the SPL with 9 goals. A lovely ball up towards Kairu. Amri, and he wins a corner. Still got a lot of fight left in this veteran. Scores some spectacular goals in his time, hasn't he, Kairu? announced his retirement a couple of years ago, and well, now the mantle taken over by possibly the Fundy brothers. Ilhan now joining the ranks. Could be the newest striker up there with his brother, older brother. As we see Shimezuzu now storming forward. Faritz has done well again. Out wide to Nishiguchi. Again, trying to curl that. Oh dear. Oh, that is well over. Probably the wildest shot we've seen today. Well, he cut inside. You can see he was trying to curl that into the top corner, but it was poor. If there was a top tier here in this stadium, it would have gone there. Almost like a rugby conversion, that one. Kind of sums up their night, really, I'm afraid. Tanjong Pagar. They come forward again to Tanjong Pagar. Nishikawa trying to play that ball up towards Karalamri. I think he's quite effective as a wing back. So much more functional midfield three now. Not sure what Hanaki was really thinking there, but anyway, he's given his team a little bit of respite. Can Balesteir Khalsa add to their tally? It's a decent ball in. Joey Sim manages to tidy up at the second time of asking. Here's Faritz. Anaki. Now Nishiguchi. They've got the corner. Now or never. Surely it's got to be now or never. Oh, that is it, really, for Tanjong Pagar in this game. And even then, it would still take something quite special to come back from here. Nishiguchi. Away by Hoshino. Faritz. Now Rashuto joins in. Half-hearted appeals, really. Nothing really asking for a penalty. Well, the added firepower of Luis Junior hasn't really changed the complexion of this game at all. We thought it might do, but he's barely got in the game. He's just not had the service, not really touched the ball too much. Anaki's gone down here. Let's turn our attentions to Jurong East Stadium, where Albirex Niigata are playing against Geylang International. That game is also kicked off at the same time as ours. It's still 1-0 in that one. So perhaps Geylang will feel they can at least try to get something out of that one. Unlike here, you feel this match is fast. They're fast running out of time to do anything here at Tanjong Pagar. Louis Junior gets across away. Nishikawa with the header. He's a dogged fighter, Nishikawa, but couldn't do much there. Amir Hakim looking to get that as far away as possible from his goal. And you'd expect some kind of assault on the goal in these last 10 minutes or so from Tanjong Pagar. They still really haven't had a proper opportunity. One that would test Zaiful Nizam. Amir Hakim. Amirul, and now Faritz. Nishikawa, now Luis Junior! And that has been pretty much the only shot on target, if I'm not mistaken. Again, straight down the throat of Zaiful Nizam. Remember, this is a team that's only scored 2 goals this season. And that has been the real problem. Harish Kumar is about to get replaced by Harish Krishna Kumar. And that completes all the changes for Balesteir Khalsa. Under 23 player, Harish, so nice to get him on and get some minutes in, especially when his team's in a pretty comfortable position. Well, what Tanjong Pagar are trying to do is avoid a 4th loss in a row. Get the ball away. Here's Hazwan. It's been a bit quieter in the second half. I think there's an issue here for Bruncevic. It's just cramp, thankfully. Yeah, just stretching there, I think, may have been the problem. Absolutely just collapsed in a heap. Yeah, Tanjong Pagar could lose the first 4 games of the season for the first time since 2004, when they lost their first 9 matches. That was a much longer season back then. I'm sure they're desperate to not let that happen this time round. They lost 9 matches last season and had 5 draws, but not in a row. That would be huge, huge disappointment. I don't think they're going to do that this time, but it's disappointing, isn't it? Balestier were looking to avoid losing their first 4 games of a season, or at least going the first 4 games of a season without a win for the first time since 2016, when they failed to win their first 8 matches. Well, they've got points on the board here. I think that was back then when they didn't have a recognised striker in the side. Thankfully, no such problems now. Oh, lovely work. Zuzul. Krajcek. It's found its way in. Krajcek gets his second and Balestier's fourth. Oh, that is brilliant. Great build up to that goal. And I wonder whether Joey Sim could have done better. Just set it up for... Yeah, he got a hand onto it, didn't he? Gareth Lowe, part of that. Zuzul setting it up, teeing it up for Krajcek. And maybe we'll see here if Sim could have done better. Oh, I think he could have. Right at the end of this match. And that will do their goal difference a world of good. It's 4 now, and we've got 3 minutes of added time. Well, they've the last away win in this fixture for Tanjong Pagar was in 2004 when they thrashed Balesteir Khalsa 6-0. There's confirmation of the 3 minutes. Balestier got a good record against Tanjong Pagar recently. Last 6 matches unbeaten. The last defeat to Tanjong Pagar 3-1 in February 2013. I think they'll be absolutely delighted as well with a clean sheet. They came into this -1 goal difference. They're now going to be on +3. They'll have scored 8 goals. We've seen some fairly big wins this season. And by the way, they will have scored more goals than Albirex Niigata. Balesteir Khalsa. I'm not sure many people would have thought that after the first 4 games of the season. That is if it remains 1-0 in the other game, which it still is. Albirex Niigata will finish after 4 rounds with 7 goals. Balesteir Khalsa will have 8. Krajcek. Not a great challenge from Faritz. On Fadli, who gets a yellow card for his troubles. Oh, that did not look a good challenge, I've got to say. Now, can they add a 5th here, perhaps? Oh, he saw that late, and actually Shuhei Yoshino just needed that touch on to make it 5. He was in a good position here. I think he'd be disappointed. Yeah, really disappointed not to get on the end of that. Oh, could he have been offside? No, he didn't connect, did he? Zuzul, I think he's made quite a big difference coming on, held up the ball well. Had a real impact. The referee has seen enough, and it's the first time since 2nd of March 2019 that Balesteir Khalsa have scored 4 goals. That was against Young Lions. They won 4-1 that day, but they've done even better today. An emphatic win, very much a one-sided victory for them against Tanjong Pagar, who are in real trouble here. That's 4 losses in a row. First time they've done that since 2004. And problems here for Hazrin Jailani and his men. And they get right back into it in just a few days' time. On the 7th of April, every team in action that day. Balesteir Khalsa will savour what's been a very good outing for them. And they'll be delighted with that. Goals from Christian Krajcik, he got a couple. Shime Zuzul got on the score sheet, as well as Faisal Rafi. As we look back at the highlights here. And the opening goal coming from Faisal, smashing in. That was the second goal from Christian Krajcik. Diving in between the defenders. Yeah, questions to be asked about the defence there, I've got to say. Lovely ball in from Hazwan. And then this mistake at the back here. And I think Farats will be disappointed with that. Outpaced by Shime Zuzul, who had just come on to make it 3-0. He was favourite, he got there first. I think Joey Sim had misread that. Miscommunication between defender and goalkeeper. And he couldn't quite clear that. And credit there for the perseverance and persistence of Shime Zuzul. And good combination here. Gareth Lowe, Shime Zuzul, and then Krajcik. Squeeze that one in. I think Joe Sim might feel he should have done better as well. That was right at the end of the game to make it 4. And a lovely little setup here, just teeing it up for Krajcik. The shot was on into that bottom corner. Gareth Lowe had just come on not too long ago. And the second goal of the match for Christian Krajcik. So let's have a look then at the stats. It's dominant really from Balesteir Khalsa. 20 shots for them. 13, perhaps surprising to some, for Tanjong Pagar. Only 4 on target. None of them tested Zaiful Nizam. And a very, very good display from Balesteir Khalsa. 4-0 on the night. So what does this mean for the table? Well, Balesteir Khalsa have moved up into 5th. They've pipped Geylang International, who lost. I will tell you about that very shortly. Now 5 points on the board. One of the bigger wins you'll see this season. And Balestier will be absolutely delighted with that. And I tell you what, it's going to get quite concerning for Balesteir Khalsa, sorry, for Tanjong Pagar in their next match. We'll tell you about that in a short while, because there's a full round of fixtures coming up. These are the results of match day 4. Balesteir Khalsa thrashing Tanjong Pagar United, as you've seen here tonight. Albirex Nagata pipping Geylang International 1-0. Hougang United, this is the result of the weekend. What a superb performance from them in a highly entertaining match. They thrashed Tampines Rovers 5-1, and Lion City Sailors bounced back from their defeat of Albirex. Their defeat at the hands of Hougang to beat Young Lions. We got a full range of fixtures coming up on the 7th of April. Kickoff is at 7:45. Lion City Sailors take on Albirex Nagata. That's the big one, isn't it? Tampines Rovers desperate to make up for their loss against Hougang. They play Young Lions. Tanjong Pagar, well, they've got a tough time against Hougang, and Balestier will be up against Geylang International. Well, lots of goals here. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been another good weekend of action at the AIA Singapore Premier League. From me, Shazad Haq, and the rest of the team here at the Toa Payoh Stadium. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you in a couple of days.